everyone, Live It Like Lisa here, and today I have a little DIY for you. I'll be transforming a couple of pieces that I've had in my collection and giving them a bit of a rustic Christmas makeover. So let's jump right in. So first we have some Christmas bells that I picked up from the reject shop. They were $6, I think, and although I love the shape and the look of the bells, I just wasn't keen on the colour. So I'm hoping to transform them into a more rustic farmhouse Christmas look. And the same with this vase. This is a vase I've had in my collection for a little while, as well as this little tin. So I'm going to give all of these items a coat of white chalk paint, and then we're going to decorate them. So for my white chalk paint, all I use is regular wall paint, whichever colour you like, and mix it with some plaster of Paris. So I basically use 1/3 of a cup of plaster of Paris mixed with 1/3 of a cup of water, and then once this is mixed together and is a smooth paste, you add that to 1 cup of paint in whatever colour you like. So I'm just giving all these pieces a coat in the white chalk paint, and because I'm going for a rustic farmhouse look, it doesn't have to be a completely perfect paint job. And I ended up giving this vase about 2 coats. And then once it was dry, all I did was just got some sandpaper and just distressed the edges a little bit. So I just rubbed a little bit of the chalk paint off around the edges, and this is the final result. So what I've done here is just got a little bit of burlap material and tied it around the middle of the vase and added a little berry pick to that, and then filled it with some berry plants and green foliage. So the next item were these bells, and again I just covered them in white chalk paint. These needed a couple of coats before they were fully coated and the red wasn't showing through, so I think I did about three or four coats on these in total. And once these were dry, all I did to these was add some burlap ribbon to the top of the bells. The ribbon I used was this burlap craft ribbon from the reject shop for $2.50, and I just trimmed the gold edges off because I wasn't too keen on the gold, so we were just left with the burlap ribbon tied onto the top, and I just tied them in a bow. Now what I also had is this Kmart door hanger, which was from the Christmas range this year, and it was $4. And I had actually purchased this before the bells, so I was going to just use this as a door hanger in general, but then when I found the bells, I thought, oh, they might actually look quite nice attached to the top of the door hanger. So I just attached the 2 bells with some fishing wire to the top of the hanger so that they sort of hung down from the loop there. So here's the finished product on that. And you can either hang this on the door, on the back of a door, or on the door handle. And I think it just gives it a little bit of something extra. So we're just going to finish off this little white tub now. It's all painted. Now I've only just done a very rough paint on it because I want it to sort of look a little bit aged and vintagey sort of thing. So what I've done, well, what I'm going to do is I've printed off this little image that I found on the internet, and we're basically going to just stick that on there and sort of blend it in so it looks like it's sort of part of the tin itself. So what I'm going to do is just carefully just tear around the image just so it's not such a clean cut sharp edge, and then we're going to just sort of stick it on. Yep, that's all right. Now we're going to just use some PVA wood glue. We're just going to glue that on. Be pretty generous with it because you want it fairly wet. Okay, now what we're going to do now is just use a little bit of, I've got a little bit of white chalk paint that I'm just going to go over the edges just to help blend it in. And then just have a very tiny amount on your brush, and we're just gonna just very lightly drag the paint over that so it looks like it's sort of part of the tin. And then, just while the paint's still wet, just sort of rub your finger over the edge of the paper to sort of wear it away a little bit, just so that the blend into the tin is a little bit sort of smoother, if you know what I mean. Like, see how I'm sort of just rubbing away the edges a little bit, so you can't sort of see that harsh . See how it's sort of looking like it's blending into the tin a little bit better now. And then what you want to do now is go over the whole picture with some more glue, and that will sort of protect it. So this is just the glue now that I'm going over the picture with. And then that will dry a little bit clearer. And then we're going to fill that up with some pine cones, and that will be our vintage tin for Christmas.